Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special beauty review for you guys, and it is the YSL Lumiere Divine Highlighting Finishing Powder. I couldn't remember that whole name, so I have it over there on my little computer screen. This is the new, and I also believe it is a limited edition highlighting finishing powder from YSL. It is gorgeous. And some people have been, there's not that many reviews on it because it's brand new, and I decided to let you guys know what I think about it because obviously I love highlighters. YSL is one of my favorite makeup brands, and since this is new, I figured maybe people would want a review of it. So if you're wondering about what I think about this makeup highlighting finishing powder, I was going to say palette. They call it a palette, but it's not a palette. It's just like a big pan. How it performs, how long it lasts, if it's worth the money, just keep watching. Alright, first, this is kind of like, from what I've gathered, from what they talk about it, and how you're supposed to use it, it seems to be, now I could be completely wrong, like a hybrid between a finishing powder and a highlighter. Generally, when I use a highlighter, I use a finishing powder after I'm done setting my spray, and I kind of put it where I would put my highlight. So basically I'll put my highlighter on my cheekbones, a little bit on the bridge of my nose, and on my cupid's bow. After all my makeup's done and my setting powder's on, I will take my finishing powder brush, which is my Chikuhodo Z1, and I will either use the Lumiere the powder or my Guerlain meteorites, and I will gently sweep it across my forehead, the upper part of my cheeks, my chin, and my nose, and it just kind of illuminizes and just adds like a softness and this really nice glow on top of my highlight. But since this is supposed to be like a highlighting finishing powder, I actually didn't do that when I was using this, and I wanted to let you guys know how it performed. So first and foremost, it only comes in one color, and it's this color right here. I'm going to swatch it for you. Obviously, it's going to be really light. So it's right there. Let me see if I can do it again on another area so you can watch, so you actually believe me. Very subtle. It has a very slight kind of like warm cream tone to it, a little bit like banana colored, just very, very, very slight. So I'd say if you're cool tones or your warm tones, you could use this powder. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make a huge difference. I am very cool tone. My undertones are very pink, and sometimes products that are a little bit yellow just don't match, and this looks really nice on. So I will say that it is very finely milled, it is very buttery, and I actually am wearing it today, so let me show you. And I'm only wearing this. I'm not wearing any finishing powder or any highlighter. So this is what it looks like. It's hard to see this side because the light, and then I get a lot of natural light from the window over here, but it does look really nice on. But there are some pros and cons to this. But overall, I'm going to give you my general experience of this product. It goes on really nice. It blends really well. It looks very natural. It's a very natural, glamorous glow. It's not stroby, it's not metallic, it's not blinding, but it is not subtle. I would say if I could compare it to two different highlighters, I would say it's in between the ambient highlighting, like the dim light, and then maybe more so closer to like the Becca press powders that can get like a little bit more glowy, a little bit more luminous, a little bit more blingy. This is like right in the middle, which I actually really, really like. Because some days I want subtle, I know, right? And some days I want super glam, but this is a nice, beautiful in-between, which I didn't have any highlighters that really did that. So this filled a little niche I didn't know I needed, so that was really cool. Secondly is the application. The application of this goes on really nicely. It's finely milled, it's very soft, very buttery. I use my Wayne Goss airbrush to put it on, and it just goes on like a dream. It blends out really nicely. So I do like the application and the quality of the powder, but I didn't think I would have an issue with the quality of the powder because generally YSL's products are always pretty freaking good. The packaging is really beautiful. It's kind of their classic gold packaging, which I absolutely love. Every time I open my drawer and I see any of my palettes like this, I get really happy just because I think it's really beautiful. And now is the wear, and this is where a con comes in. So Pros are it's buttery, packaging's beautiful, it's got a beautiful glamorous glow that's not too blingy and not too dumbed down. The wear is where I think it kind of falls a little bit short, and it's not too bad. Generally with highlighters, I don't expect them to last all day. Some of them do, some of them don't. I would hope my highlighters would last 4 to 6 hours. If it can last in that range, then I'm usually pretty freaking good. This lasts 3 to 4. Just under where I would want it to perform. So I do have to reapply this. So I would say wearing this as a highlighter that you put on during the day to wear all day, I don't think that this quite performs to that level, like the Ambient, like the Becca, like, you know, the Kathleen Lights with the Makeup Geek palette. That lasts a long time. It's beautiful. Like the ColourPop, like almost all of my other highlighters, minus like 1 or 2, like will at least last 4 hours. This lasts about 3, and it just starts to just fade. It's not really bad, but for the price, I would hope it would at least last 4 hours. And I've tried different ways to apply it. It's just, I think it's just how it's going to perform. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. Generally, I will run errands for a few hours and come home, and then I'll like kind of look to see if there's anything that I need to fix up or reapply, and I'll do that. And then if I'm going out to dinner or doing something else, so I mean, like, I usually would end up probably being home at the time this would wear out anyway and reapply it, so it's not a huge inconvenience. But for the price, I would have hoped it would have at least lasted 4 hours. Now, do keep in mind my skin, the environment that I live in. I live in Florida. It's humid, it's very hot, and I do tend to sweat. So that could have a huge impact on the performance of this powder. But my other highlighters don't wear out at 3 hours. They usually start wearing out at 4, and around 5 to 6 is when I would need to reapply. So that is the one con to this, but that's the only con to this, and it isn't the hugest deal in the world, because again, like, I would reapply it anyway, especially if I'm going out. I always reapply my highlighter because I like to be super blingy and just be really bright and glowy. So that's my thoughts on this highlighter. It's really good. The packaging is beautiful. The product is soft and buttery. It blends really well. It does have a slight kind of light banana-ish undertone, but it's so light that even cool tones like me can wear it. It is very fair, so I would say this is definitely geared towards the fair skin tones. So that's another con, because it's really only for people, I'd say, my skin tone. It may be 1 or 2 shades warmer because it's not translucent, so it might not work for darker skin tones. This is the only color they have, so that's another con, I would say. But it is really beautiful, and I do really like it, and I have no regrets purchasing it. I really, really love it. If I'm going to grade this palette, I'm going to give it a grade. I'm going to give it a B. I'm not going to give it a B+. If it lasted 4 hours, I would probably give it an A, not an A+, an A. But because it doesn't even last in between my 4 to 6 hour time zone that I would hope that my highlighting palette or my highlighting powders would work, and my like $6 Makeup Revolution one does and this expensive one doesn't, I'm going to give this a B. Now, I'm not saying it's not a good palette. I'm not saying go out and buy it. Probably the environment that I live in, being like humid and muggy and swampy South Florida, does have a lot to play. So I'm not saying don't get it. It's not worth it. I do really like it, and knowing what I know now, I probably would still buy it. But I don't want to give this any type of A because it doesn't last that long. So I did want to kind of let you guys know that. So anyway, that's my thought on this little Lumiere Divine Highlighting Finishing Powder Palette from YSL. If you guys have any more questions on this product or have used it yourself, let me know. Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, or if you have any more questions on its performance, how it looks. I know it didn't swatch too well, but it's so light. And that's, again, like, I always like to like give you kind of a little quick rundown. So if you have any questions, link them below. But again, this is a B product just because it only lasts about 3 hours, and also because it only comes in one shade, and that shade is tailored to very fair skin. If it was a little bit darker, I think I would have given it a B+, because then it would have fared for a little bit more of a wide variety of skin tones. But it is very buttery, it does go on very beautiful, and it is a very glamorous glow. So I do like it, and I don't regret buying it, but I would definitely go into the store, go into Sephora or any place that carries it, and swatch it and look at it before you buy it. I wouldn't just buy it blind off the website. So yeah, I hope you liked this review. If you did like this review and you like content like this, give it a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing stuff like this. Also, don't forget to subscribe. It's free, I'm free, and I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes also on the weekends as well, so I will always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever, and I'll see you next time. Bye!